Welcome in. Oh,
Whoa.
that was very loud. It's still kind of loud. Okay.
What is happening?
I don't know.
Oh, jeez. What is happening?
Hello? Okay, it's still a little loud, but we've been having audio problems for the last hour. Last year, really. Oh, and our producer just showed up. All right, well, welcome in, everyone. It is our last spooky season stream. So we are gonna bring it back with another like atmospheric game. So a couple weeks ago we played Limbo, and we got killed by a spider like a lot. We didn't finish it because we're past our era of playing the same game for months on end. So we're doing like little samples of games or games that are like replayable, things like that from now on. But Inside is made by the same makers as Limbo, and it's that same kind of like atmospheric sort of walking sim type game. But yeah, we're gonna jump into that. But I'm sure we can talk some gaming news first, and I'm sure Spencer wants to talk about Call of Duty.
You know, at a certain point, it's like being surprised by the same magic trick 30 times.
Oh, Amber's not here today. Let me take this away. Sorry.
At a certain point, you have to stop being surprised. You know, you deliver me the exact same product for 14 years now, 15 years since Black Ops 1 came out.
Yep.
And then they spice it up with really stupid changes that nobody asked for. When the reality is, if you were giving me the same stupid product, I could deal with that. But you're giving me the same stupid product, but you're making it worse every iteration.
Yeah.
Now, personally, I think it would be really cool if they did what like Grand Theft Auto does, where instead of releasing a game on a rush development cycle every single year that ends up with like no testing, really bad quality control, lots of glitches, like cut production times. I think that if you could just make a game every 4 years. The problem is the last 4 games that you've given me are the same game, actually. There's no difference.
It's like Madden.
It's so bad that they're all on one launcher now, and I actually have to pick Black Ops 6 in order to play Black Ops 6 because I have 3 options on the launcher.
What's up?
Oh, the monitor's on.
The monitor's probably on.
Anyway, so the point is, it's not a bad game. Like, none of the Call of Duty games are bad games. It's just not that much different from any of the other games that have come out. It's fun. I'm sure that you'll enjoy playing it. But unless this is the type of game that you really, really like or take very seriously,
I don't care for
you're probably
Call of Duty.
not.
Like, I'm probably
You're probably going to play it for like a day and then be like, wow, that was something.
If it wasn't on Game Pass, there's no shot I'm spending $70.
No, I would not have played it if it wasn't on Game Pass. Yeah. Because it was very expensive.
That it's $70.
Well, because I wanted to go back and play BO2 with a friend, and it said I had to spend $60 to play BO2, and I just didn't.
So,
Oh, we don't have a mic.
well, the other problem is
Look through like Spencer's.
Yeah.
Okay.
the other problem with Black Ops 2 is that the servers are completely unmoderated right now. So, I want to say it's like 50-50 you get into hack lobby. It's not. It's like 100% chance you will get into a hack lobby. It is so rare to not find one that you could play for an hour and you would not find a single unmodded lobby. And if you do, it's probably going to be under this the size that's necessary to actually play a game. Zombies is still solid. Zombies holds up. The new Zombies mode I actually heard is pretty good. I haven't played it, but they are moving away rapidly from the arcade-style zombies. They're going more for like an open map design, I guess, with loadouts and stuff like that, which is a design choice. There are a lot of people who like it. I'm not saying it's not fun. I will say it's not really zombies. It's not really what I'm looking
Okay.
for. It would be like if Legend of Zelda only ever made open worlders from now on, and then 20 years from now we're going, okay, but like, is anyone ever gonna make Link to the Past again? Because that game was actually really fun. You know, not that the open worlds aren't fun, but I want to play Link to the Past again, and I don't want to have to go all the way back and replay the same adventure. Give me a new one, you know? And I don't think that's an unfair request. I think Link Between Worlds was a fantastic game,
No, yeah.
you know? But that's kind of how I feel about zombies. Is like, Mob of the Dead was so much fun. That was awesome. Origins was so much fun. Buried was a lot of fun. Die Rise was a lot of fun. Shinonuma was a lot of fun. Shangri-La, you know, Kino. These are fantastic experiences. This was a great time in gaming.
Yeah.
And now we've kind of just turned our back on it, and we're like, no, we're going to do this new thing. And I just don't understand why. I don't get that.
Also, it's like zombies is kind of like a staple of COD as an arcade. Like that is. Like
Yeah, it's supposed to be, in my opinion, zombies was designed to be something that you play when your friend says, hey, I'm getting home in an hour. And you're like, oh, okay, I don't feel like grinding multiplayer by myself because I already have the guns that I want to use. Let me go play zombies for like 20 rounds. You know, see how far I can make it. Let's see if I can get something cool from the mystery box or maybe pack punch something fun. And then occasionally, it's a nice thing to play with a group of friends when you've gotten bored of playing multiplayer.
Yeah.
Occasionally. But I feel like there's been this like competitive resurgence of people who are playing nothing but solo zombies, which is bizarre. And I blame Syndicate. I think that he started it with like his going to round 1,000 in zombies.
He's been doing that since like.
They started it in like Black Ops. I feel like
Like
Black Ops
BO2,
2 was
BO3.
like the first one, like when they started putting in
Is he the
Easter
one
eggs
who
and
like
stuff.
cheated the world record?
Yes, he was.
I think so. I feel like that was a scandal.
Yeah.
But it started with like the Easter eggs.
Well,
Transit was like
so I
the
remember
beginning of the
Easter
end.
eggs and, like modded map Easter eggs.
Yep.
I still get them on YouTube sometimes. I'm like, I don't
And then they started adding the gobble gum.
Yeah.
And then they started
The
and it's
gobble
like,
gum.
you know, these are cool changes. They make the game more
I
dynamic.
am just here for the ride. I played OG Zombies and that was it.
They make the game more dynamic. They make the game more interesting. Like all that stuff. But you stray further and further and further from the roots every single time you make one of these changes. And I'm not sure that that's the best option.
Now, are you saying that through the game? Like through the games, kind of like new games coming out every year, or are you saying that through the modding?
No, I'm saying like the iterations that they're
I
making
understand.
on zombies. Yeah.
Sorry, I was.
I just think that it's you're kind of like tarnishing the legacy of the IP.
I think that you can move in a different direction with zombies, just have the arcade of the game.
Well, that's the other thing is like,
Just like have a couple old maps.
yeah,
And, like,
yeah, like it would literally take no effort for you to just put in like,
Zombies arcade.
oh, here's the Zombies Classic Collection. You can play all your favorite maps from Black Ops 1 and 2. And it's like, you know, I hate to say it, I would probably pay money for that. If you were like, this is a DLC, pay me $30. Okay. Yeah, give me like 5 maps for $30.
Yeah.
Whatever, I'll pay it. I don't care. Because that was how I got most of those good maps anyway.
Yeah, and that's like the zombies experience anyway. Like, give us like like the 5 most strengths. What?
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, Kino's a big one. Shangri-La's a big one. Moon is like a big one.
Yeah, just, like, give us some classic maps, and then.
What's
like,
that?
You even make them smaller.
Derice. What's the one with? Is it Countdown? Is that the one
Yes.
with the? That's an awesome one. That would be like, you know, my Black Ops 1 selections. And then for Black Ops 2, you just give me like Transit, Mob of the Dead,
What was the one that was like fire?
Town.
Was it town or fire?
Town.
Oh, was it literally? Town?
Yeah, were you talking about Town?
yeah,
The one
I
where
guess
the
I-
pack
yeah,
punches
you're
in the
right.
middle of the Lake of Fire?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Town. Farm was a good one, but it's not classic enough for people to care about it. Origins. That was Black Ops 2, right? Am I crazy? I feel like I've been gaslit into thinking that Origins was Black Ops 3. It wasn't. The one with the stabs.
Origins.
Was that Black
yeah,
Ops
it was
2?
Yosa.
That was a great map. That was like maybe the best map in terms of like the Easter egg and everything. Yeah, it was awesome. But the cool thing about it, you know what the cool thing about it is? You don't have to do any of that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever finished the Easter egg with my friends. Don't think I ever finished it. They're so convoluted, dude. It's like an hour long, and it's like, okay, go train the last zombie. We can't get to the next round. Like, and we were 12. We suck. We weren't good at the game. But it was optional. You didn't have to do it. You know.
Uh-oh.
So, yeah, I don't know. I would say if you're looking for a fun FPS experience, there it is. Go play it. See if you like it. It's free on Game Pass.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably try it eventually, just
But
because
it's not
on Game Pass.
I would not go into this game anticipating that it'll be a very different experience than what you're used to, because it won't. It never will be. It never has been. It never will be. It's just Call of Duty, you know. It's not revolutionary.
Ryan, the game's called Inside, yes?
Yes.
Gotcha. It's just the category was
Oh, my bad.
You're good.
I really just I don't like the concept of an annual release schedule anyway. If I'm being
No, it's
totally
never
honest
been
with you.
anything other than a money grab.
It's just like, yeah, it's like swap, you know? Like
I think there's very few cases of like that working out where like the game is actually really good, and when that is the case, it's like a one-off,
is there
like
any-
Majora's Mask, but that was just built in the same game engine that the previous game existed
I think
in.
Pokemon did some good jobs on on their annual release schedule, but I honestly think that it just erodes your creative minds over time because
Yeah.
it's like
Can you name a game series or game, I guess, in the last 15 years that has had a yearly schedule?
Call of Duty. In the
10
beginning.
years.
In
Yeah,
the beginning they
sure.
did. So Black Ops 1, so Modern Warfare, Black Ops 1, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 2, and then what was the other one? Call of Duty Ghosts.
Oh, I'm about to get eaten by a dog.
Another question.
World at War. That's another one. That was like
You're right.
like 6 in a row, and every single one of them
Ghosts
was
wasn't
amazing. Ghosts not as much. Advanced
Ghosts
Warfare
was
even.
good, yeah.
Those weren't Advanced Warfare and Ghosts. I don't think were that bad looking back.
Infinite Warfare with that.
What did I say? Advanced Warfare? Which one
You
is
could
that?
say Advanced, but
Is that a game?
Advanced
Am I
is-
making that up?
Advanced is right before Infinite.
Yes. Infinite Warfare was like the
Yeah,
space
Ghost
one.
Recon Advanced Warfare.
Is Advanced Warfare that is a Call of Duty game?
Yeah.
I'm not going crazy.
No, it was just like super forgotten, but yeah.
I
It
think
got,
that
like, bundled with Ghosts.
I think that those were good games. I think the first one, dude, honestly, like World at War, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2. The fact that all those games came out, Black Ops 3 even.
Yeah.
The fact that all those games came out that close to each other was like unheard of at the time.
Yeah.
The games don't do that.
Now,
And they were all different. It wasn't like it was replaying the same. Modern Warfare 3 and Black Ops 2 were sequential, and they were completely different games.
I got a
You
question.
could see the maker's mark from each developer in the game, and it was awesome.
Would you attribute that to games nowadays are harder or more intensive to pump out like that, or just a lack of creativity?
I
on
would
the
say
part?
there's two big problems. The first problem is Activision is the worst thing that has ever happened to video games. Like large companies that are syndicating releases are ruining video games because what they do is they say, I feel like Madden, or like not specifically Madden, but like sports games in general have become the blueprint for how we're going to make games now. Because why would I put out one game and consistently update it over the course of 4 years when I could put out a brand new game every year and charge you $70 for it, and you're going to buy it even though it's the exact same thing as the thing you just
yeah,
bought
sports
12
games are
months ago.
insane for that reason.
And in sports games, I want to say I understand the design philosophy behind it because it comes from an era when there were new rosters every year and we couldn't do DLCs. We weren't going to do updates every year because we couldn't. You didn't have internet. There was no way to do that, which makes sense.
Oh,
format. I think that format. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brian just got owned.
yeah.
I think that format should be gone. Like you can do a live service MLB with a shop.
Oh, I'm dead.
But like, yeah, it's like in our day and age, you can do a live service for it.
It's not going to go away because people keep buying it.
No, never.
And that's the problem. So I think that the other big issue that I have, and this is like, I guess, more of a general thing with the entire industry. This isn't even like just a AAA problem. Is I feel like
Oh, I didn't see that one.
we're kind of reaching the end point of like what is creatively possible in the mainstream space. Like what you can make that is going to sell well but is also innovative. There are very few examples, I would say, within the last 10 to 15 years of like dynamic, innovative systems in video games that were mainstream. And every single time one appears, it gets swallowed up and becomes its own separate genre. So like Dark Souls, for example. Now there are Souls-likes. Or like Undertale. Undertale was like super original. Now every single indie game that's like an RPG, it's gonna follow the same. Almost to a T. And I feel like the space is a little bit, not even a little bit, it's very, very oversaturated right now. It is tremendously oversaturated. And I feel like, I hate to say this, I think American markets are probably the bulk of the garbage. Because when video games weren't as popular in the United States and it was kind of a Japanese run thing, I feel like that's when you get all like the weird innovative stuff. Like that was when Nintendo was at the peak. And that, I feel like that was a cool time to be a gamer because you're doing a lot of like interesting, creative, innovative stuff. And then it sort of became the beginning of the end when it reaches American consumer markets and it's like, okay, I just want whatever is going to do the most processing. And it's like, okay, but why do you even care about that?
I think that...
When was the last time, let me ask you, when was the last time you looked at a game that had really good graphics and you thought, wow, this has really good graphics? Because I think like Cyberpunk was the last time that happened for me, and before then I don't even remember. It's not even something I think about anymore.
Agreed. I'd rather like interesting gameplay.
Red
or,
Dead
like,
2.
Red Dead 2.
Okay, I think that's a fair one. I think that's a fair example.
Yeah.
But these are so true. Yeah, that's true. These are so few and far between nowadays that it's like, but it's not even something I care that much about. But we are wasting so many resources on giving me every single blade of grass on the ground. I'm running past it.
The dad mentality of
Look at the graphic. Yeah.
Yeah.
My dad actually says that every time he plays a game. And it's kind of funny because he will buy every single Assassin's Creed game. And I'm like, dude, this game looks terrible. And he's like, I don't really know what's going on. But look at the graphics. And it's like, okay. You know? And I feel like the younger generations are kind of
I mean, when you grew up playing Tecmo Bowl, like Madden 25 is gonna look insane to you.
I get that. But like, and this is my thing. I was just talking to Brian about this before the stream. I was playing Pokemon Black over the weekend, and I remember I watched a video not too long ago of a person talking about the problem with the 3D-ification of all the models that we have in Pokemon. And the big issue that you run into is that by turning it 3D, you have not only hindered your technological capabilities with the game, so you're making a tremendous sacrifice technologically to do this, you have like completely reduced any like life that has like that's within like the art of the sprite art.
It's just such an oversaturated, but also just kind of bland art style.
Well, it's just bad. It's like they're not, the animation doesn't do anything. You have 3 attack animations in the entire
And like,
game.
yeah, like I'll click on it. You know that clip of the legendary Pokemon from X and Y, the Zero-Kin thing?
Yeah, Xerneas.
Where it does like the X move, the big move, and it's just
Yeah, and it just like stands up and then it like, it literally, yeah, I said this to Brian earlier, is it looks like, if you ever saw like YouTubers when you were a kid, like the ones who do, like they make like the action figures fight each other, like the Super Mario guys. That's what it looks. That's what Pokemon looks like. and it's miserable.
Yeah.
What is my idle animation? Oh, I'm just gonna like kind of like sway from side to side, and it's like we're taking steps back. This is what Gen 3 looked like, except now it's just 3D, which I don't really care that much about. It like if you wanted to give me 3D battle spaces like they had with like Black 2 and White 2 to a certain extent. Like it was like a 3D battle arena, like 2.5D, I guess. But that was awesome. That looked great because it had life in it. And I went back and I played Black and White and I was like, oh my god, I can see it. Like I can see it in every single idle animation, in every single attack, in the status ups. It looks like something is happening on the screen. When I'm having a battle in the new one, it's just like dynamic angles of absolutely nothing. It actually looks ridiculous. It looks silly.
It's like when you stand idle in Red Dead and search in the cinematic camera.
Yeah, and it's just like a super dramatic shot of like the stupid face of this poly world that's doing nothing. It's ridiculous. It looks ridiculous.
It's just disappointing. It's really disappointing.
It's disappointing because it took you work to make it worse. Yeah. What is wrong with you? Yeah. The entire point of existing in the infrastructure of a competitive market is that you spend money to make things worse, and then you are severely punished for it. And that never happens because American consumers, I hate to say it, are really stupid. We are like the worst of the worst when it comes to buying things that we hate. And I can't even... I didn't buy the last 4 Call of Duty games. The only reason I'm playing this one at all is because it's free. And I will commit to not buying any more Call of Duty games until it improves, because it's garbage right now. But every single one of my friends is playing that game right now. I have a friend who bought it on 2 consoles already. And he hates it.
Yeah, you're just eating slop from Activision.
Like they're fattening you up to slaughter you. It's horrible. It is a terrible experience.
I think that first of all, I'd like to make a point. Half the stream, always, is just talking about how disappointed we are in Pokemon and Nintendo.
Yes.
The point I'm trying to make. Oh, the stream is
and you know what? Nintendo is like the least bad.
Oh.
If I'm being totally honest.
Just distributor.
Oh, fall damage?
Alright, we're good.
Okay.
Do you know what a whale fall is in nature? Are you familiar with that?
I've heard the term.
Spencer, when you want to play, also let me know.
Oh no,
I feel
you're
like you're
good.
engrossed in
Yeah,
conversation
I'm
right now.
ranting
so.
right now.
Tell me what a whale fall is.
A whale fall is when you have a whale and it dies in the ocean. And whales are tremendously calorically dense creatures. There are so many tens of thousands of calories inside of a whale. So when it falls to the ground and it dies, it becomes the breeding ground for all kinds of life.
Oh, do I just land in the thing?
I think so. Yeah, it's like Assassin's Creed, right?
Except it's full of dead pigs. Yeah.
That's gross.
Yeah. It's all every
it's
time
gamers.
you die.
It's an allegory for gamers. So the whale falls to the ground, and it's the death of the whale, but amoeba can like feast on it, you know, and then like little fish come along.
Nintendo
and
amiibos.
Sharks eat from it, and it brings life to the rest of the environment at the cost of this whale's life. And I think we have like 4 or 5 big whales right now, and they're eating up all the resources, and they've got to start thinning. I hate to say it. You got EA, you got Activision, you have Ubisoft. Those are the 3. Those are like the if there's, is there a 4th one? Is there somebody else? I'm trying, because if I think of like the evil.
I mean Nintendo, but they make good
What's
stuff.
the thing that George Bush said? The axis of evil.
Yeah.
This is the axis of evil of gaming. No, because Nintendo, I still feel like makes quality games. I feel like if I see an Activision or Ubisoft or EA title, immediately my brain goes, "This is slop, garbage, awful content, and I hate it." And it's the antithesis of everything I want in gaming. Blizzard maybe, but like they're not. I don't even think Blizzard is a slop creator. I just think that they are stupid. I think they just make bad decisions.
Yeah.
And I would say the same thing about
Ew.
This game is insane. I would say the same thing about Nintendo. I would say the same thing about
Sorry,
Rockstar. I don't think Rockstar makes slop games. I just think they make a lot of stupid decisions as a developer. I would say Bethesda is kind of caught in between worlds right now. I would say, I don't know if they're slop. It was bad. It was a bad game. But it wasn't slop in the same way that, like, Madden is, or in the same way that, like, Assassin's Creed is.
Sure.
You know, I feel like...
I would say it was slop. I would say it was mishandled.
Yes.
Mispromised.
I would say slop is like a specific term that I would use to describe something that is like a McDonald's hamburger. It is something that is routinely iterated upon with very little changes to just squeeze as much money out of people with as little effort as possible.
Yeah.
And I think that EA, Activision, and Ubisoft are like the definition of slop gaming. And it's horrible and it's disgusting. I hate it. What?
I just put my head in it. Oh, I control these things now?
That is so creepy. This game is scary.
This game is
Why
scary.
is that pig
Perfect
like
for spooky
emaciated?
season.
You can like see its spine. Horrible. Looks like there's more stuff behind that gate.
Yeah. I pull this gate down with these guys.
But the point is, I think that the best case scenario right now is that I think people are starting to wake up, either because we have more interesting hobbies, or there's been a social push to like get away from the indoors, or maybe because mobile gaming is more popular now, or maybe because TikTok is more popular. I don't know. For whatever reason, it seems like people are becoming more and more aware of the fact that they are spending a lot of money on stuff that doesn't really matter. I think that like the $10 price change between $60 and $70 has been a really big one. I think that the digital only Switch has been a big one.
I am shocked it took this long for games to be $70 though.
No,
games
I mean,
have been $60
well, that's the thing is like
for so long.
I feel like this is like when gas prices go up to like $2.80 after being $1.40 for 2 years, and everyone's like, gas prices are insane. It's like, no, this is
No,
actually
they used to be like
remarkably cheap.
$5.50. Like,
And actually, if you look
and
around
worldwide
at everybody else, like
yeah.
it's still like we are by far the cheapest.
Yeah.
But like it feels worse because you're used to paying less.
Yeah.
And that's like games used
What
to
was
cost.
like the first like recent $70 game? Like what made that switch?
Oh.
$70.
I don't think it did.
Cyberpunk wasn't the first.
Did it drop at 70? Are you sure?
I'm positive.
What was? I remember it wasn't Elden Ring. It was like a big deal when it happened. I want to
know.
say it was a
I
Call
can't
of Duty
remember what
game.
it was.
It was definitely a COD game, but I was going to say it was a sports game.
Was it Modern Warfare?
Not Modern Warfare 1. It was Modern Warfare 2.
Was it Modern Warfare 2?
100%. I remember specifically buying Modern Warfare 1. 2020 to 2021 was the Switch because it was on the new gen consoles.
Right.
Right? So PS5 came out, and then with the PS5 games being Modern Warfare 2, it was after COD Vagabond, whatever that game was. Whatever game that came after Vagabond.
There's a game called Call of Duty Vagabond.
Something like that. Oh, Vanguard, that's what I meant. Yeah.
That's a little different.
Yeah.
Right after Call of Duty Ruffian.
You're right.
Right after Rapscallion.
The first game to cost $70 was NBA 2K21. Wow. 2020. Yeah, it was one of the...
Yeah, that was
Cyberpunk really was 70? I could have sworn it wasn't.
You probably got it on sale because it went on sale for like the first month of being out.
well, that's like so this is I guess the question is if things keep getting worse. I think I think it's going to be I think it's going to be really really rough. I think this is one of those situations where it's like the survival of the fittest.
Sure.
You know, it's gonna be really really rough if everything dies. But that's the only way to enter a more fit world in the future.
I think that there's going to become a point where like a AAA game, like in the next 5 years, a COD game will come out and no one will buy it.
In the next 5 years,
I think so.
no.
You don't think so?
No, I think that there is. I guarantee you. How much is the most recent one?
Well, like,
What's their active player count right now?
On COD 3?
Let's do the one that. No, look up the peak concurrent player count for Modern Warfare 3. Or just look up like how many copies it sold. I would bet it's north of like.
It peaked at 260,000.
That's way lower than I was expecting.
That's
how many copies
way
did it
less
sell?
than I would have thought.
I would guess it would sell like at least 7 million copies.
I think
would be
it's just
surprised
like
if it's
all
that.
older people playing I feel like
Oh, 2011.
teenagers don't play COD anymore.
2020.
No, teenagers play Siege now.
That's so weird to me.
I used to play Siege with them. Alright, sales were down almost. Yeah, I just want to see the number. Maybe the number isn't posted yet.
It might be on Wikipedia. Check Modern Warfare 2. I also think that was so stupid. Why would you make a game that already exists and not like retitle it? Like, you know?
Yeah.
But like new modern.
Yeah, like just like give it a new name, just remake. Modern Warfare 1 remake.
It is estimated that Modern Warfare 2 registered launch sales of a minimum of 8 million copies.
Okay, that's about what I would expect. I would say there is no way there will ever be a Call of Duty game. I don't know how they calculate it with Game Pass. I don't know how they calculate the revenue now that it's owned by Microsoft. But I would say I don't see it ever falling below 2 or 3 million. I don't ever see that happening, to be totally honest with you. I think that the game company will go under before that happens.
Actually, you're right. Vanguard, remember that game that came out? The awful.
Yeah.
It sold 30 million copies.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing is like people I think have McDonald's will never stop selling burgers.
Sure.
It'll never happen. Either the government will shut them down, or like public trust will erode after some like massive foodborne illness or something. But there is no, or the finances of the company will tank because of some financial crisis. There will never be a future where McDonald's fails on the premise of it not selling enough burgers. I don't think that'll ever happen. Because there's too many people that like garbage.
I think all the time you hear of like gaming companies making cuts all the time.
Oh yeah, no, Silicon Valley had a really rough like 2
What's
years.
happening there? Why?
Because there was a really big bank that was making a lot of really stupid financial decisions. It had nothing to do with people buying stuff though.
Got
It was mostly to do with really bad investments. But like in I guess more specifically, it's like large companies have way too many people on staff right now doing not as much work as they should be given how much they're being paid. And then the other problem is they are putting so much money into these games expecting really high returns.
Sure.
And then if it gets like still a very like a decent, like it's like if you made a movie for
And it kind of
$200 million and the movie sells $190 million worth of tickets.
Sure.
That's a lot of money, but you're not making your investment back.
No, yeah,
You're still at a $10 million loss, even if every person in the world has seen this movie.
Yeah.
You know, like $190 million worth of tickets.
You'll
is
make
like,
your money back at some point just through like stuff.
yeah,
like,
yeah. But like
still you're
at the
investment is
point, yeah. So like now nobody's going to be looking to make a sequel because
Yeah.
it's like, you know, even though everybody's seen this movie, your movie still flopped because it cost us money to make it. I would say there's been a lot of examples of games like that recently, where it's like it's a game that a lot of people have played, and a lot of people are familiar with it, but like it
I think
didn't meet
people
expectations.
do drastically underestimate how expensive it is to make a AAA game too.
Yes. Yeah. Even like, dude, the amount of money that it costs just to like put the data on that many discs is
Yeah.
like the production costs alone are insane. The development costs are insane. The amount of like you need to picture when you look at the credits of a video game, every single one of those names is worth $100,000.
Yeah.
That's like crazy.
Another thing is, I also think it's just like the field right now, like the landscape of video game development or game design or like is kind of bloated.
It's super bloated.
Getting into that,
Yeah.
like, it's just, and I guess that's just kind of like a generation of like kids who grew up.
Yeah,
playing
I wanna
COD.
make video
I wanna
games,
play- I
yeah.
wanna make video games.
There, for every company that you want to apply to, there's 3,000 other people applying to it. And
I also
think
feel.
that
Oh no.
either the industry will grow,
Mhm.
or these people are going to have to start going back to
People right
college.
now.
No, there isn't, because all the people in that field are really highly paid,
Yeah.
because it's a field that it was very, very small 10 years ago, and there's a lot of investments in the space.
And I think
But
it's-
as that starts to slow down, as this tech boom starts
Uh-oh.
to slow down,
Did
I
you, like,
think
super
that-
die?
What?
Did you super? Oh, you
Oh,
did super-
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I think one of the big things that you will see is software developers are going to start making a lot less
I
money.
was gonna say, yeah.
Because it's unsustainable to pay these people six-figure salaries.
But
it's not going to
the
happen.
thing is, like, yes, that sucks for them and anyone who goes into that field, but it could be good for the industry as a whole if they just hire way more people. Like, if you hire 2 people to do the job of one and pay them,
Yeah.
I don't think you can pay them half of what they used to make, but if you take one person and they're getting $100,000,
I am
and then you
curious.
pay 2 people $75K each, but there's half the amount of work to do because it's split between 2 people. You make more room in the industry for people, and you could probably have better quality games with a quicker turnaround instead of people making 100,000 being overworked like crazy, because that's what happens to those people, and turning out the same slop year after year because they have crazy deadlines to work on that like are unsustainable for like a small team of people.
I also think that like the independent scene, like indie games, there's gonna be like at some point there has to be like something to rival a AAA market that might just come in and like set a new market and like mess up the idea of like AAA. Like, AAA already kind of like falling off.
Yes and
So-
no. I just think like there are people who will never care about indie gaming. They'll never care.
I just
And, like
in my head I'm like I think like what if someone just like made indie con, you know?
it's happened.
Yeah, that was Splitgate, X-Defiant.
X-Defiant, yep.
Fine.
Which
Was next
was
to-
really cool for
it-
like a week,
people
right? And then
played it.
everyone stopped playing it.
Yeah. But that's
Because
I think
A
that
new COD comes out. That's what they want to play. I'm gonna get vaporized. Yeah.
I definitely
That was brutal.
I can understand where that mindset comes from, because I think that's just like a normal consumer behavior. Like if I have 2 options and one of those 2 options is this thing that I've been doing my entire life, or this new thing that could one day become large but is like currently not really that important. It's like Local Burger versus McDonald's. Local Burger was a great restaurant.
They still exist, just not here.
Yeah, but they had to downsize.
Yeah.
Because it's just not that
Okay, come on.
it's just not that popular relative to the slot that people know. And that's because I think consumers are way less adventurous than they used to be in like the pioneer
Because
era.
things are more expensive and people are afraid to spend their money on the unknown when they could go
Yeah.
spend money on the product they know already.
I think that's part of it. I also think that a big part of it, though, is that we were born in the 1940s, 1950s. We did not have the economy that we had today. We were coming out of a recession and going into the next recession. But recessions back then were not like a large bank lost a lot of money. It was every single person that you know is broke and unemployed. And like they're eating like they're eating dirt. like
They're big strong.
they're
they're-
eating
they're-
literally water pie.
and that's like it's very like 2008 was really bad for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But
Oh, God, this game is so creepy.
the
dude.
recessions that we have now are controlled in a very, very, very different way, and they're structured in a very, very, very different way, because our economy is a lot more controlled now. It's large financial institutions that are governing our economy today are like global powers. That was not a thing that you had 70 years ago. So there was a lot more instability, which means that there was a lot more room for movement, which meant that consumers kind of had to be more savvy. And they were going to go for like the cheaper option here, the more expensive option here, learn what's worth what, because it wasn't set in stone. But the brands that I have today are the same brands that have existed since I was born. There's not really as much room for movement, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like that wasn't really a thing before like the 90s, probably. It's very rare that like a brand fails today. And when it happens, it's a big deal. You know?
Yeah.
Like when Sears went under. That was a big deal. Or
Like,
Blockbuster.
They just get bought out.
Or like GameStop. Like GameStop
GameStop should be.
GameStop failing was a big story, though. That was a huge deal because that stuff doesn't happen anymore. It's not something that we're used to. It is still around. It's just it's dying, and now it's kind of a merch store more than a video game store.
Yeah.
That's true.
But like, more than our stuff is for nerds.
Yeah, I think that the big thing though is that like people aren't going to be, they're not as liable to make decisions. Ooh, that was a close one. Based around like what is actually like good consumer behavior, and they're more likely to just do it from their biases, which is I think that's like, I don't know, if you ask anybody who works in marketing, they'd probably just tell you like, yeah, this is the most basic psychological phenomenon and there's actually a name for it. And like
Yeah. There's some of the guys who are talking about things that we don't have the terms for.
yes. Yeah. Well, you know, that's how terms are invented.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that there's going to be a lot of pretty shaky changes. I'm really glad that I'm entering the era of my life where I just don't really have time to play video games anymore. Because if I did, I would be having a very miserable few years ahead of me. But I don't, because I'm an adult and I have responsibilities that I have to attend.
What? Why?
Oh, he's going in.
I feel like honestly.
Am I supposed to? I think I'm supposed to run. Sorry.
I know you're good. I don't know if it's just that like gaming is boring right now, but like I went from playing games all the time to just like I honestly haven't touched my computer to play video games in like 6 months.
I really hate to say it. I definitely think that I'm suffering from some serious brain rot. Because I just don't have the energy to play like any of the video games. Like a lot of the video games that I loved when I was a kid.
Like honestly I prefer just like watching. Like I'd rather watch a show or a movie than play games at this point. And like honestly, I just actually for the last time I started watching that. And that show is like significantly, not that it's better than the game, because that's a different. It's like I'd rather watch that show than play.
Oh, come on.
I'm in for the story, you know. And like, if the game isn't engaging anymore, I'll just watch a TV show.
I like stories. I like gameplay. Like that's the reason I think. I also think that you're probably a more movie-oriented person. I just get that vibe. Like I think that you are a more like television movie-oriented person.
I like,
I think that everyone's oriented towards different types of media. I think I am very oriented towards video games. That was pretty much the only way I entertained myself for a decade.
So it's like, it's hard. Like
it's gotten very.
I don't know how I'm supposed to outrun this dog.
Strange, yeah.
Like
for
all
sure.
of friends text me and be like, "Hey, you want to get on Minecraft tonight?" And I'll be like, "No, no offense to them. I'm just not in the mood."
I will get on, and then I will sit there for an hour jumping around from chest to chest doing like parkour in my base because I don't feel like doing it.
I'm just like, and half that's just because I played the Minecraft experience like a million times. But the other half is the fact that I'm just like tired of gaming.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely reached the point where it's like I'm tired. I'm tired and there are things I would rather do than play
I
video
don't
games.
understand what I'm
It's not
supposed to
something
do
I
here.
would ever say.
You want to try? I can't figure out how I'm supposed to not get eaten by this dog.
Beat up the dog.
Yeah, there's no beat up button.
This game sucks. Maybe you have blended with the group and you walk. Is it just a like a sound clip?
Yeah.
Oh, this is like impossible. Are there other buttons?
Y or X? Which one's which? The side one is like an action.
Did you jump into a pig?
Yeah, I tried,
Oh.
but the dog just jumps into you.
I could look it up if you want.
Like you can outrun it. There's something you're supposed to do. I just don't understand what.
Well, there's that controller thingy,
Yes.
and there's a hook above you.
That controller thingy makes you control, like...
Are we supposed to run
zombie
back?
people, though. Maybe. Oh, wow. You're so smart.
Ah, juked him. Oh, I'm not going to make it. But that's definitely what you're supposed to
Yeah.
do. Okay, so you have to, like, stand at the base.
You probably have to wait for him to come.
And then wait for him to get, like, all the way down here because he's stupid and doesn't know how ledges work. And then... Yep. Okay. What is he doing?
So you're controlling the guy.
Yeah, what is he doing, though? Where am I supposed
Probably
to
grab that little, like, train car thing you're attached to. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, what were you saying, Aiden?
I just thought it was funny how your brain just like grabs onto that thing. Like you don't have to grab with your hand.
Yeah. Oh, hold down and then jump. I feel like this game's cool. It's way creepier than Limbo, just because it's more
You can
not
see
realistic, but like it looks like a real person instead of a stick figure drawing. I can't say that word apparently.
Oh, this is a little tricky. It's a little tricky
But then
because...
you can't get back.
Yeah.
In there.
Is there another thing I can pull?
No, you're supposed to leave that over there.
Okay. Makes sense.
I'm picking up what I'm putting down.
All right.
I like that on the gaming stream. Aiden's talking about how he just doesn't like gaming anymore.
No, I like gaming. I like watching you guys. I like watching gaming. Well, the thing is, like, also like if I like want to see a game, because half the games that come out nowadays are just like a cinematic experience. I'll just watch someone play the game,
Yeah.
and then like I get to hear. It's like I get to talk to someone about a game and I'm talking to them. You know, it's just like I get to hear. Their
I feel like that's why I've been liking playing like older games lately. Like I've been playing Fallout 3 in New Vegas, and we'll play Fallout 4 after, and like not everything has to be like.
Dude, I played Black Myth, Wukong.
Yeah.
That game was like mid, bro.
Really?
Yes,
It was so mid.
I saw, like,
I
the
was.
rumor, and I was like, it must be a lie. It cannot be possible. This is the most played game on Steam ever because it looks bad.
It's not
I think
bad.
it looks
It's not
good
bad.
graphically.
I'll tell you.
I don't not gameplay wise.
I will tell you, it is not a bad game. It is a mid game.
Yeah.
It is so. Oh, this is like Inception. What?
Wow.
When I tell you this game was like, bro, it's like I'm playing it and I'm like, I feel like I'm playing like. Did you ever play those games as a kid?
Well,
You're dead.
How do I drop one without the other? Oh, I guess I have to stand above the.
Probably.
Yeah. You ever played like those tie-in games as a kid? Like if it, like it's like a.
SpongeBob and like.
Yeah, like it's like a massive like media fran. Well, not actually specifically not SpongeBob because the SpongeBob games were always really good.
Okay.
But
The
like,
Shrek 2 game.
but like yeah, like a big media franchise. I have a movie coming out, and the game like needs to be about the movie, kind of. Like
Yeah,
yes!
literally
Nailed
over
it.
the edge.
Nailed it, 100%. That's what Wukong feels like. That's what Wukong feels like. It feels like a tie-in game where it's like, okay, let's just copy paste everything from a popular video game like Dark Souls or like, yeah, but like just replace the character, and it's like okay, but you don't really know what you're doing though. You have no idea what you're doing. You've kind of just like taken the formula and then like errantly applied it, like with absolutely no regard for how well it holds up in the eyes of the fans or whatever. And then I am choosing my words very carefully because I don't want to be mean. People who like slop, okay, slop maxers, if you will, will see that the game has like good graphics and like, oh, I could maybe play this for like 15 hours, and then it's like, oh my god, this is game of the year, man. This is the best game I've ever played. And it's like, okay, man. Like, no, not even old. That's the worst part. That's the worst part. Is I'm watching,
No, it's just people who don't have who just literally play games.
and you know what
all
the thing
day.
is no, it's not. That's the worst part. That's the worst part. It's casual gamers. It's casual gamers, and they're not bad people. They just don't care about. This is like I understand
You know what, though?
now. My
But-
mind is being
They are
open.
bad people.
Everybody who's
They are bad people.
Everybody who's ever complained about posers, I used to think that you were just like pretentious jerks. I get it now. I get it now because it ruins your hobby. This is a space that you've occupied your entire life, and now interlopers are coming in and gentrifying your hobby and making it worse so that it has more broad appeal, and they're going to move on in 5 years. And you're going to be left with the remnants of a garbage hobby that was ruined by stupid people.
The
I
thing
get
with
it. I get it
casually
now.
playing games is, which I'm not. This doesn't refute your point at all. It bolsters it if anything. Like if you have, which I like. I'm getting closer and closer to that point in my life where I love gaming. I love to play games. Like if I have a full day off,
Yeah.
I'm going to spend probably a majority of that
Oh,
day
yeah.
playing some game that
Oh,
I
yeah.
haven't had time to play. But because my time to play games is much shorter than it has been at past points in my life, I'm going to be more inclined to just enjoy the game I'm playing and be
So-
less critical of it.
Sure.
Even if I could, I kind of wish I could be more discerning and 3-4 hours into a game be like, this isn't great, let me move on to something else. But I need to see it through, and then because I saw it through,
Sure.
I'm gonna try to find everything that was good about the game.
I would not define casual versus hardcore, or I don't know what you'd call it, but casual gaming versus intense gaming. I would not define that as a dichotomy between the types of games that you play or the types of games you enjoy or anything, or even how frequently you play them. I think there are people who play games maybe once a week that are not casual gamers. I would say it's your level of involvement in the hobby and the space that defines whether or not.
Okay.
Because I've met people who play cozy games that are hardcore, dude. People who play Stardew Valley and 100% that game are nuts. Those people are
Yeah.
crazy.
So long.
And I feel like this is kind of there's kind of an elitist misconception, I think, that people who play cozy games are not real gamers, and I don't agree with that. I think the people who are not real gamers are people who are playing things that aren't even really video games. I just bought Madden for the 20th year in a row.
Yeah, thank you.
And I play this once a week with my friends who sports bet, and it's listen, I don't want to and I'm a hater. I am a hater at my core. I'm describing my friends, and I love my friends, and I like playing video games with my friends, but they don't care about the space. They have so many other hobbies. If video games cease to exist tomorrow, I really don't think they would care. But I would kind of just be there goes 70% of my free time, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. As I'm trying to think.
Can I buy bubble wrap? Can I just?
Yes.
Do I need to be are they gonna ask me or are you using this for packing, or can I just buy it?
Nah, you can definitely just go buy a roll of it on Amazon, dude.
Just,
But
I
also just get one of those little the kids' toys that the pop something.
no, it's not the same. It's not the same. I have
Pop
one of those.
Tropica.
Don't like those.
Is that is it gone?
It's not dead. It's just
No, it just sucks now. They got rid
Yeah.
of all the old islands.
Spencer, I'm so glad you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Dude, it sucks.
Spencer immediately popped off about Pop
Oh,
Tropica.
man.
It's miserable. I tried to
It's
go
so
on.
miserable.
Dude, when I started playing that game, there were 4 islands. It was Big Nate. It was the heist one.
Big
It was
Nate.
the ancient Pop Tropica, whatever, the one with the shark people and all that stuff. And what else? The one with the carrot guy. Yeah.
the rabbit.
Yeah.
Right.
Those were the only 4 islands that existed when I
It used
first
to be so
started.
cool.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was so cool. And then I remember they started expanding it, and it was so hype. And then they added that choose your own adventure one, and they added
Remember the survival one.
yeah. There was a lot that were so cool.
Remember the one where you went to the human body?
No, I think that was after my time.
It was so cool. Okay,
Let me see. Let's get a list of deprecated Pop Tropica islands.
Where you went, it's the Titanic.
Yes, I remember that one.
Super cool. And they started releasing in episodes.
The Greek myths one, that was like
Yes.
peak.
Oh,
That was
yeah,
peak.
didn't
Because you could get like
Zeus and,
you could get like the cool powers, and you could apply them to your character, and then you could go to other islands and be like giant. It was awesome. It was awesome.
that game was so
Pop
good.
Tropica was just past my
Pop
time.
Tropica was hardcore gaming.
Oh my
I
god.
felt like I genuinely.
There
I
are-
wish it was more in my time.
There are 53 islands released on Pop Tropica and 500 million accounts. I had to read that number 3 times because I thought I was forgetting how to read numbers. It's 500 million. That's insane.
3 of those accounts are mine. For the record.
Why are they not? Okay,
Hayden's like, I was botting in Pop Tropica.
so early Pop Tropica, that was the one with the city. You remember that one?
Yes.
With like the balloon salesman that you could use to change your skin color?
Yes.
That was a cool one. Shark Tooth. That was like the ancient, like the shark people with like the grass.
Show one? It
Um,
was like the spoof on like Survivor.
we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get there.
Sorry, that's good of you.
Time Tangled. I actually don't remember that one.
I remember that one's like the starter island now. It's when you go into different like time periods and you collect artifacts. You might not remember. That one's classic.
Listen, Aiden.
Sorry, buddy.
I know about the classics, buddy. All right, let me just
Yeah.
Let
what
let me just
about
look it up, man.
Webkins?
Let me just look it up.
I remember going to like meet Thomas Edison in that, and there was like this like old timey like new age American like like with those little like pan flute like songs.
When did this
Like,
one come
time.
out? This must have been like. Oh, this is the one where we went to the future.
Yes.
Yeah, that was.
Oh,
That
no
was
way.
Aiden.
You have to do that all over again.
When
I'm
I
gonna be
tell
so
you,
mad.
that was like
Okay.
that was like a core experience in my childhood. Like going to the future and meeting the future version of yourself.
And he's all like, you have to go back.
And you have like the tube that like
Yes.
carries you.
Yes.
That was Aiden.
Because then
That changed my life.
The whole thing, and then you see him in the future.
That
it's all
changed
I need you to understand that changed my life.
I so perfectly remember that.
24 Karat was a classic. Superpower was an awesome one. That was an awesome one. Spy Island. That was the one with the heist.
That might have been after time.
No, I don't think I
Zombie
played
was
that.
cool.
Yeah, but did you guys have Neopets?
What was which one was Nabooti?
No,
Which one?
Brian.
Which one was?
We did not.
You're missing out.
Oh. The booty?
It
Or like
sounds
Djibouti.
like familiar, but it's like Africa themed.
What I'm hearing is that instead of Call of Duty, we need Pop Tropica revived.
Oh, this is the one with the diamond. This is the choose your own adventure one. Yeah, that was a good
Was
one.
it the heist one?
No, that was Spy
The
Island.
heist one was super cool.
Spy Island.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like that this is a like realistic how you would climb down a chain and not just sliding down like in
Like ripping your hand
ripping
apart,
your
yeah.
skin off. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, what's the take?
Skullduggery.
Which one was Skullduggery?
That was the
So
pirate
funny.
one. That was
Yes.
that game. I need you to understand this. There were tiers of ships you could buy, and there were realistic pirate
What
ship
about Tears
battles.
of the Kingdom?
It was top-down pirate ship battles, okay? And you're like shooting shooting cannons out, and they had a realistic that you could get like herbs and spices that you could loot from like the flotsam, and then like you could sell it at different ports for like different values depending on whether or not they had an abundance of that stuff already, like in different parts of the world. And then they had banks that had legitimate interest rate calculations.
like phase banks.
Dude, this was the best game on Pop Tropica, hands down. Hands down. Skullduggery.
Do you remember where you're shrunk down the whole time?
Maybe. I'll tell you what the last one I played was.
Where there was
Oh no! I thought I was safe in the water.
Wait, what was the one? Oh. What was the one where Astronauts? That was an awesome
That
one.
was crazy. What a crazy
That was so crazy. It was like steampunk, like knights in space,
That wants to keep in mind.
like unicorns and stuff. Oh, Counterfeit. Counterfeit was the heist one.
Yeah.
Spy Island was the one where you had to become a spy.
they had like a whole like Magic Gathering type like system.
Oh, I'm so dead.
I think the last one I played was Cryptids. I think that was like the last one that came out. I remember the game show one.
Yeah, like when it's like a survivor. Like,
Yeah. Yes. Oh, Pop Tropicon is the one that you're talking about. Yeah, that was. Yeah, that I think that.
No, puppies. Oh.
I think that Pop Tropica was a really cool experience, and I think the fact that they got rid of like the first like 10, 11, 12 islands is not just a shame for reality TV. That was one I remember, not the game show one, the reality TV one.
yeah, that's when like you start like.
Yeah, the helicopter. Yeah, that was an awesome. So the big thing I think is just it was a really special game, and I feel like I am disappointed not just as a Pop Tropica fan, but as a general game enjoyer. I guess it starts making money, they get bought out, and the people that buy it out don't really care about the culture.
Pop Tropica?
You're just like popping a lot of Tropicas. You're walking around. I guess because you're on like popular tropical islands. I don't know. No way. Wait, I'm sorry. Pause. Put a pause on that one. It was created by Jeff Keighley. Is that correct? There's no way.
You're totally right. That's my big Nate, and
You're telling me Mr. Diary of a Wimpy Kid made my favorite childhood game? There's no way, dude.
yeah,
That's crazy.
That's unhinged.
You're totally right.
Some people just have all the talent.
I totally forgot about that. That's why. Also, yeah, the tie-in worlds.
That's
Big Nate
crazy.
And Diary of a Kid were kind of some of the best ones.
The Big Nate world was sick. It was actually awesome. I remember that one.
Okay, so I need to.
And then you remember like the Fun Brain one.
Fun Brain?
Yeah, you ever go like the Fun Brain arcade? It's like a playground. It's like a multi-tiered playground.
Oh,
you can, like, click the
yeah.
little
Oh, yeah.
guys.
Also arcades and all that. So, like, that was like the public area.
What is? Do they have like an updated?
Okay, now I have a submarine.
Are they like? Okay, the Hacksport was made public. Pop Tropica moved to Cool Math Games. What?
It is very good.
Oh, can you download a flashpoint of the old games?
No. Because if you can, you know what I'm doing.
Hold on. Is there any other ways I can do it? Please comment. Oh, this is from 5 years ago.
I mean, there could be like a Wayback Machine version, but I feel like it's a lie. It's not.
This game really just nails an ambiance.
Brian's just soaking it in.
I am. This game is crazy. I don't even generally like this style of game that much, but like I see why like Limbo and Inside are like extremely popular.
That's what the problem is now. That's nice.
Okay, so the OG Islands from 2007 to 2013 were built with AS2, a Flash-based programming language, and are now only playable via Flashpoint. Let me tell you something.
About Flash
Aiden,
gaming.
about Flash gaming. I'm gonna get arrested. I'm gonna get myself arrested. I'm gonna get this stream shut down by the feds, dude. Adobe is like this. It's like the internet gaming. I'm moderating myself so hard right now, Aiden. You need to understand
I'm so
me.
ready for the after stream talk.
They are. Who's like Maleficent of this space? Okay, they're just so unbridled, evil, hate, disgusting, putrid, horrible, everything. They are so awful. Adobe, yeah.
Okay.
Everything they do, and they make good products. Don't get me wrong. Photoshop is great. Love Photoshop. Okay, but as a company, the things they do, it's not even. It's like they hate. It's like they hate me personally. It's not even like. And this is the thing. Is like every once in a while, a company will do something that is so evil, but at least they're saving money doing it or whatever. At least you're getting some personal gain from this, which can then be turned into benefit for your shareholders. People are sharing in the gains of you screwing me over. And you know what? I feel like that makes it at least a little bit less bad. Adobe will do things for no reason. For no benefit to anybody, for no financial gain. Just do it to mess with other people. I don't understand why. Don't understand why. And Flash games are like the number one example of that. Now I have to go through Unity and recode all of these old launchers so that people can play games that were uploaded to my website 20 years ago. Are you kidding me? Whose idea was this?
I have a question.
Yeah, what's up?
Off topic. I'm just looking into AI. Is there a Monster Carnival?
No.
Okay. It was freaky.
If you show me a picture, freaky like Diddy.
Like, no. Freaky, like,
Oh,
is that not like
that is really
really
scary.
scary? Or you can't get the brain to smile.
I don't like that.
And it was such like
Yeah.
it was. And I remember the story of that island was super eerie. Like there was this carnival deep in the forest that one comes to town once in a while or whatever. It was just weird. Like
Pop Tropica was like an underrated masterpiece in my opinion.
isn't that scary?
Yeah, it's
isn't that scary? It was weird.
Yeah, and now it's been lost to the sands of time because evil Adobe was too stupid to allow companies to just keep deprecated Flash on their website. They just decided, oh, we're going to stop updating it, which means now it needs to cease to exist. Like, imagine if Ford was like, hey, guys, we're not making the Taurus anymore, so if you drive a Taurus, we're going to come steal your car and crash it. Why? Why did we let them do this?
Because people didn't understand enough about it to care, I think.
Yeah, and now everything is dead. You go on Newgrounds nowadays, you know what you're going to find? A download link to a Newgrounds player so that you can actually access games that you want to play. Name me one website anymore. Name me one website where you can just hop on and play games. They don't exist.
Is
I mean, they do
game's
exist.
gone?
No, like they exist. They're just like they're slashed. They're
Well,
miserable.
they're gone because like Fortnite and Roblox exist, where you can just go on and play every game you've ever imagined. In
true. That's true. But that's not to say these games don't get any clicks. These games are still popular. Like if you're a kid, and this is still a real thing, if you're a kid living in the United States of America in the year 2024, okay, you get a school-issued laptop, whatever. It's got a block on literally everything. You know what it doesn't have a block on? Tyrone's Unblocked Games, man.
It doesn't.
It doesn't. It still doesn't. And they can't block it because it's a Google site. They can't. There's no way they can turn it off.
That's pretty crazy.
So now if I go on Tyrone's Unblocked Games, what am I going to see? I'm going to see all the Flash games that I want to play. And you know what's funny? You can for some of them, but you can't really play the originals anymore. So you have to go all the way to Tyrone's Unblocked Games.
All the Flash stuff that you need to go to separate, like a separate
Yeah.
school has a lot.
Yeah. Did you ever play Pokemon Tower Defense?
No, I had.
That sounds
What?
sick.
That game. Pokemon Tower Defense, it's a third party.
Yeah.
It's a Flash game. That game was insane. When I tell you this game
That sounds
was
so fun.
unreal, it's like
This isn't fun.
you had like I don't know. It was a finite number, but there were so many. Wow, that was a close one. It's a finite number, but there were so many. Realistically, you are never gonna run out. Of like tracks. Like it's like a track, and it's like a tower defense game. But instead of towers, you put Pokemon, and instead of defending from like balloons or whatever, you're fighting against Pokemon. And what you can do is you have like this like Pokeball counter in the bottom left corner, and then you can like try to capture them if you get them to a low enough HP point. And each
That's
tower
cool.
is like a Pokemon, and they all have like different moves and stuff. And then when the second one came out, and it's got like this campaign, it's got like this awesome story. When the second one came out, this was the real game changer. They added a global trade system to the game on a third-party website.
Okay, that's
It was
wild.
like, dude, and they had shinies and everything. It was like one of the coolest games I've ever played in my entire life, and I think it's still up. I think it's still a game.
You think?
Pull that up, Jamie.
I'm sure Nintendo
Pokemon
tried to
Tower
take that down at
Defense.
some point.
Oh, I'm positive they did. But you know what the cool thing is? You can just not respond.
Dude, Nintendo's taking down Switch emulators like it's no one's business right now.
Yeah, but you know what? You can just go to the GitHub repository for what is it called?
You can download
I
it.
forget what it's called.
I don't want to try and download it because it's not my computer, but
You have to download it.
yeah, there's like a.
Let me see.
Yeah, go for it.
Let me see. Let me take a look.
Right.
That's just like, I'll download it.
yeah. Pokemon Tower Defense.net. Yeah,
But so
that was it. Wait, can I pull up?
Nothing like the safety and security of a .NET.
Can I pull up like a video? Yeah, look at this
I
game.
recognize it.
Look at this game. It was awesome, dude.
Yeah.
It was so sick.
Oh, I don't like that.
Yeah, I just saw Vim's Lair got hit with like a huge takedown request.
Yeah.
And they complied. I don't know why. Not sure why. Because as I understand it, I don't think legally, I don't think that they have any standing to say that you can't host emulators online. Or ROMs online. I don't think that there's just
take of not getting into legal trouble.
Well, yeah, because you'd have to. It still would be like an affirmative defense, yeah. But that's like, I feel like, I don't know. I like the idea of a DVR. Imagine that coming out today. Like, this is something that literally just doesn't make any sense to me. Maybe you could give me insight as like a movie guy.
So you're gonna ask me if I could give you insight as an old person who
That's
used
right,
a
I also
DVR.
was assuming that's what you were gonna say.
Yeah.
No, I think it's so. If I go to the movies, I buy a ticket. I go to
Yeah.
the movies. I pull out my phone and I record the movie so that I can watch it later because I don't really feel like watching it now. I'd much rather stare at the floor. Yeah, I just want to look at the floor for 3 hours while this movie's happening.
In this hypothetical,
That's illegal.
yeah. It's illegal.
Not only is it illegal, it is very illegal, and they will make sure you know it's very illegal. It's piracy. They put it in the thing. Hey, if you do this, we're gonna charge you $150 million and kill you. You
Now,
know, that's
why
what they
is that
say.
illegal? Or what it was
Well, if that's illegal, I understand why it's illegal. What I don't understand is how that's illegal. But then I can go home, wait for them to put the movie on True TV or AMC or whatever, and then I can press beep. I can press the button, and oh, look at that! Now I can record it to a VHS tape, and I can watch it whenever I want. That doesn't make
You can't-
any sense. That is 100% legal. That is 100% legal.
It's legal if you're not distributing
if you don't distribute it. But I'm not distributing this video that I recorded of me in the movie theater watching Mad Max. Okay, I just want to watch it for
I don't think
myself.
you'd have a problem then.
Dude, I feel like
I think that it's
Google
illegal
that.
to-
Pull that up, Jamie.
What am I pointing?
Pull up the FBI warning at the beginning of the movie, because I want to know if it's illegal to record and distribute or just to record it. So I feel like I should be allowed to just record, and if that's the case,
It may have something to do with like
if this is the
a
case,
public area of the movie
I
theater.
encourage every single person to go to the movies and record it. If it's legal,
I'm not
I
gonna do
encourage that. I encourage it if it's legal. If
Unauthorized
it's not, I
production
don't.
Or distribution of copyrighted work is illegal.
Okay, production.
Production,
So that's recording
reproduction or distribution.
So that would be recording it.
Yeah. So reproduction.
Okay, so then how is a VHS, a VCR recorder legal? It's not. It's not even that it's like, oh, this is illegal. We're just not going to enforce it. They sell VCR players with the explicit intention of recording VHS. It's not even like they have built-in DVR in TV systems like now.
No, you're right.
Is that like a license?
Because there's ads when you watch it. At all.
I don't know. I don't know because I can fast forward through the ads and
Yeah,
the
but they
ads
just don't
for a lot
exist
of
if you're
things-
watching it.
So here's the thing: if I'm and sometimes they have no ads. Sometimes they have like marathon segments of the movie where there's like no ads.
Yeah, or just HBO.
Yeah, or HBO. Well, I mean, you're paying for HBO. Well, I
You're
guess
paying for a
all
cable
of them.
subscription.
Yeah. But I'm also paying for a movie ticket. This doesn't make any sense. Why has nobody asked this question before?
I'm sure they have. I'm sure legally they asked all of these questions as
I
They
don't
were-
know, man. I feel like if people were asking this question, they either would have said, "Listen, VCR tapes are garbage, and we need to
I
get
do
rid of
love
DVR."
Spencer's confidence that he is the first person to ask any questions.
I don't think I'm the first person to ask it,
So
but I definitely think that nobody has presented this like legally before. I feel like there's no way this was like a court case.
from what I'm reading online is that it's just as long as it's not being massively distributed. Like, I'm not about making a business out of
Okay.
selling.
And that
movies.
applies to-
You can't control people, and like yes, half DVR sold without you know, but like
Does that apply? Well, that's the thing. Is like
people in their homes,
a
you know?
DVR is like explicitly created with the intent.
With the intent, well, I'm thinking it
Right.
from like a cable box.
Matter of fact, I'm sorry. How do libraries work? I don't understand that. I don't understand that at all.
Well, 5 minutes left in the stream.
Libraries, like, we have access to streaming through the library. What is the
Yeah.
deal with that? How does that licensing work? Are these companies just like taking an absolute bomb, like for the? Yeah, but I don't buy things. That's a librarian's job. I just process things once they get here.
Okay.
So there's a limited number of licenses that, at least for streaming, I'd have to look more.
With
into it, but
some
for
of-
like
so-
audiobooks is like
Yeah, we have two different types of systems. There's
Right.
one where we pay beforehand and one where we pay afterwards. One of them is limited, one of them is unlimited. But like the question I have is this profitable at all?
we're a non-profit.
Well, we're a nonprofit, but like
Well, yeah,
selling
we-
DVDs or licensing them out.
I'm saying like for the company, like are they charging us like a market rate for this stuff? You don't think so?
Not at all.
Huh.
And this is from talking to both librarians and like friends. The DVDs we get here, I don't know where we buy them, what source we buy them, but we get them for like pennies.
So this is another interesting thing, is like if I stream on Netflix and I give my friend my password, and we're not even using it at the same time.
Yeah.
That's a problem. But if I buy a DVD and I give that to my friend, who cares, man? Who cares? Nobody cares.
Going by the logic, then you're also going for Netflix. It's not just a DVD, it is the entire service.
It's the service.
Exactly.
Why is that different?
Why is it different? Because technically, like in a
What's the
legal
difference between me
sense,
transmitting a good and a service?
it's a one-time, and it's like you can only have one of them.
Okay, but like if I give you,
If Netflix is paying for all the licenses for all these different IPs and movies and all this stuff,
like I could transfer you my movie ticket. You just take my movie ticket and just go into the movie.
you're not gonna watch them.
No, well I'm not gonna watch the movie.
So if you're giving the movie ticket away, then it's still one.
This
person-
this
it's
feels
still one
this
person.
feels this feels ridiculous. This feels ridiculous. I don't understand why. So like if I sell you a movie ticket versus if I sell you a season pass, right? Or like if I sell you like a season pass that's worth not even a season pass. Let's say it's like a month pass,
Okay.
where you get 4 weekends of movie tickets. Or they do this with baseball seats, right? They do this with baseball seats. It's like you can auction your baseball seats away if you're not going to be there that week, right?
Yeah.
That's a thing you're allowed to do. Is that something you have to do with the consent of the of the baseball stadium, or is that just like a thing that you can do? I feel like that should just be a thing you can do. I feel like if you purchase,
that is like a resale that like you pay the company for the ticket.
Yes.
You're not going to be there. It's still the company got their money for one seat to be taken.
well, that's the thing is Netflix got their money from me to watch a movie. Now, I would understand if your argument is, well, you can't have two people using it at the same time, which is how it used to be. That's how it worked for the entirety of Netflix up until 3 years ago. But then they changed it to, no, we changed our mind, actually. The new rule is that it's, yes, per household. And you're actually paying for a Netflix account for your address, actually.
Yeah.
That feels a little slimy.
It is slimy.
Oh, it's super slimy.
That feels a little bit slimy to me. I feel like I should be allowed, if I'm paying for the service, I feel like it makes perfect sense for me to just pass along to my friend while I'm not using it. I feel like that makes sense.
Of course, Netflix, from what I know, Brian, you might know this better since you pay for your own stuff. Well, I'm just
Is the implication that I don't?
well, I assume you do too, but you also still live at home.
That's true. That's a fair assumption.
So like Netflix, does Netflix have like an individual plan, or is it all just kind of like with the assumption that you have up to 5 accounts?
I don't have an individual plan. I think it is all with the assumption
So-
that, and also I know Netflix has the thing now where it's like, oh, you can watch Netflix out of the house, but you have to let us know beforehand.
Yeah.
It's a vacation code, right? Don't they like
yeah.
give you like up to 3 months?
Yeah.
But like if you do it a bunch of times, you're gonna set off like a red flag in there. And that's another thing that skeeves me. How much money are you losing on this that you now have to pay a guy to moderate the service? You're telling me it's worth the money? Get out of here. The amount of money that it cost you to integrate this into a service. And I'll tell you,
It's probably right
here's the
back to
kicker.
that guy.
You know what the funny thing is, Aiden? I don't even pay for Netflix anymore. We canceled our subscription because Netflix sucks now.
Only
So-
because it's become more and more expensive.
I pay them $10
You
when I
can-
want to watch something.
Every time I've ever gone on vacation, and if I've wanted to watch Netflix, also if I'm going on vacation, like I'm usually not planning to watch a ton of Netflix.
No, yeah. why
And if
would
I
that? Who
do,
cares?
it's during the transportation, whether it's
Yes.
being in a car
Yep.
or the flight, which you can just download.
You can
the
download it.
episodes,
Yeah.
And that's
Well, you
not a
can
problem.
download it to your device.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
So like I've never had a problem with like streaming Netflix
Okay.
outside of my
So-
house.
I'm looking at the Netflix plans right now. For the standard with ads, $7. You can have 2 devices in your household watch at the same time, and they can be on $2 devices. Standard, no ads. Same thing, you just don't get ads. And the standard with ads just is less than you might think. It's a crazy way to put it.
Yeah.
I hate these
And
companies.
then the
I hate these
premium-
companies.
The premium, you can have 4 devices in the same house and $6.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but the different tiers also, one of them locks you out of like 4K streaming also,
The
right?
premium is
You know,
4K HDR.
I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I don't really care about
Not at all.
that much.
You don't care that about streaming in 4K and HDR, you don't care that's more expensive too.
No, I don't care that it's. I don't either. Actually, I don't personally care about it, which leads me to not caring that it costs more. Because I feel like there are things that I do want to watch in 4K, like a video game. that's about it, man. That's about it. I don't know. I don't really care. 1080p and 4K are not different enough for me to care when I'm
Well,
I
watching
don't
a
care
TV
about
show.
watching a sports game in 4K versus 1080p.
Sports game, sure. As someone,
Do you care for like a movie?
No, just literally go into your TV color settings and turn it to movie, and it looks way better. And even if it's not in 4K, you're still gonna
That's-
be happy
yeah.
with how it looks.
Yeah, because you can just color
who,
blend. Yeah.
like, works with high-end camera equipment on a daily basis. Most people don't really care. Can't really. Not that you can't tell the difference. You can.
Oh, you can for sure tell the
It's
difference.
Literally,
Yeah.
It's double 1080p. It's
Yes,
like
yeah.
1089.
Well,
So, like, just go to the movies when you want
But
to
that's
see
the thing,
something
if
that looks.
you care that much, where you need it, because 1080p like Full HD looks great.
Yeah.
If you care that much, you're gonna go to the movies for it. Like if I care
What-
enough about something, I want to see Twisters really bad. I watch Twisters in the movies.
what is
Yeah.
the resolution of the movies?
Is
That was really funny.
I want to say it's 4K.
I feel
Like, was it always 4K though?
No.
Do
Okay,
you
so
both
if I
remember-
so
sorry.
if I'm watching a movie that came out, well, it is right. It's a different format, so it's not
because you'll see like a
like it's like a cinema, not Cinemax.
Yeah,
What
and
is
the
it? What is
standard
it called?
resolution is,
What do they
30
call?
1060.
What do they call that? Like when you go to the movies?
IMAX?
IMAX.
Sure.
IMAX. Yeah. That's the format. It's a
IMAX
film
films-
format.
It's trying to get us banned talking about
IMAX is
Cinemax stream.
IMAX is similar. 35 millimeter IMAX is similar to 6K, whereas 70 millimeter is.
Okay, so it's like so it is at a higher resolution. Okay, because my next question was going to be if a movie came out, which I guess it still would have to be remastered, right? So if I want to watch Titanic in 4K, I can't watch the original Titanic and then just have it be 4K. Somebody had to go through to the
Yes.
masters of the film
Yes.
and then convert it to 4K
Yes.
for it to be streamable.
Yes.
Which
So-
basically just means like sharpening in color.
Which they, for the record, probably did not do for the bulk of things that I'm interested in watching, like older TV shows that nobody watched.
The thing is, like, for example, you watch like Indiana Jones remastered, like full, like 1080p.
Yeah.
HD.
Like big movies, they
like,
definitely remastered.
You can see
Older
the fact
movies?
that like it's so like you'll get like that kind of noisiness, and you'll
Yeah.
see that it's just not.
Yeah,
supposed to be in
yeah, it
4K.
looks kinda
And that's
weird.
Okay. We're not 4K.
1080p.
Full HD, 1080p. And like that's okay, but like in cinemas back then, when you stretched it out to be that big, it just kind of looked like that.
Yes.
You know?
Right.
That's
Well,
just how movies
that's-
looked, and that's what, and like it's just of the times. It's just the cameras it shot on. You
Yeah.
can't change that.
This is an interesting
Yeah.
thing that you see. This pops up on Reddit all the time. You ever see that graphic of like video games actually did look better when you were a kid, and then it shows like how like crappy 16-bit graphics look on a CRTV,
Yeah.
and then like it looks much better because like the pixels are like shaded in more, because it's like an individual diode.
No, it's true. If you go
Um,
play like
yeah,
a,
it looks.
a SNES on
yes.
like original hardware on like a
They
CRT,
actually give you
it
filters.
looks
now.
great.
In like a lot of new indie games, they will give you a filter to make it look like CRT
Yeah.
so that it
It's
looks
meant
better.
to look like that. Like, that's how, like,
Yeah,
that
and
style
you
is
convert
based
it, doesn't look as good.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well,
This was a rant-filled
Yeah.
stream. This was just an
I got
hour and
more
a
in the
half of
tank,
ranting.
honestly. I'm constrained by the speech limitations of my
we don't talk
job.
movies that often. Ages.
There's
Yeah.
so many words I wish I could say that I can't.
Real quick side note, just on the topic of like things that we care about being in 4K and not caring and whatnot. I think one of the most underutilized features of Meta headsets, like the Quest 2, Quest 3, there's nature documentaries that are filmed to be watched in VR and like narrated by
Yes.
David Attenborough,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
they're
yeah.
so cool. Like it's one of those things that I never thought about with VR, where I'm like, oh, that would be like an amazing
Yeah.
experience. Actually, it's incredible.
I watched
Like,
the
I think I like
dinosaur
this more
one.
than any game I've ever played.
When-
on
I
VR.
watched a dinosaur one on my old Samsung, the Gear, when it first came
Yes.
out, and it was like seeing a dinosaur in front of you is like insane.
When VR
They're
glasses,
so big.
like the Apple thing becomes like a consumer product, I will buy one because I remember like sitting on my like with my Quest 2 on and like going into Netflix, and the Netflix launcher is
It's a
like,
movie
cozy
theater.
cabin,
Yep.
Yeah.
and
Oh,
there's
the
a
cabin.
fireplace.
Yeah.
And I was laying in bed and just
With like the
watching it,
snow
and
outside,
Yeah.
I
Yep.
and
do.
it's like in
Yeah.
a theater. It's literally
Yes.
a theater, and it's great and it's so cool.
It made me want to do things more. Like it made me want to watch movies more. And then,
We
like
have
the
like
cool
a
thing
really
is like if the screen is attached to my face, now I can't do more than one thing. So it forces me to do one task.
we have a like pretty nice TV like in our living room, and before I was going to see Dune 2, I was
Okay.
watching Dune 1.
Yeah.
And I was watching it in the VR headset, and Robin was like, "What are you doing? Like, there's a TV right there." I was like, "No, you don't get it. Like,
It's
this
so
is
cool.
I'm on Arrakis right now. Like,
I need to
this
give it
is
100%
sick.
attention. Yeah.
Like,
There's two things. First of all, you know how like 3D was a big deal? Someone's gonna make a whole movie for VR.
oh yeah,
That'd be so cool. Not that I want to become a new normal, but it'd be really cool.
yeah.
Also, yeah, like VR
What was
glasses, like I don't want to have this giant cube on my face, but I want to watch it in that kind of space where I'm like immersed. Like
What
that.
was the movie filmed all in first person?
Oh,
Something Harry,
No,
something Henry, Hardcore Henry.
No, wait. I'm thinking about like the Crank movies, not Crank movies. What's that movie? Earth to Echo.
I don't know that one.
It was like this like 2013.
No, yeah, the one that I was it's called Hardcore Henry, and it's supposed to be like an FPS, but it's a movie. Like you just see his hands
That's
the
crazy.
whole movie. Like I think they just put a GoPro on the guy's head and was like, "Go make John Wick," but like this.
It's an interesting concept for sure.
There was this movie.
All right, hold on. We have to end
Wait, yeah,
stream.
Sorry, bye
Yeah.
guys. You'll learn.
We will get back into this next time because this is fascinating. But thank you all for tuning in. Spooky season is over. Maybe Fortnite next week. We'll talk about it.
Oh,
but
Fortnite
maybe
new
something
season
fun.
coming out.
Is it okay? If it's a new season, maybe we will.
I think it's
then.
coming
Yeah.
out either next week or like in the next couple weeks.
All right. Well, whatever week it comes out, we'll do that on the stream. It's been a while since we had a Fortnite
All
stream.
right.